Hello there. Welcome to my COVID-19 update by Heerak show for May 9, 2020. This is Saturday, and we are excited at Georgetown because our final exams are over for spring semester 2020. As you know, I am graduating from Georgetown University School of Nursing and Health Studies with my master's degree in the program called Clinical Nurse Leader. So after graduating, I will be a certified clinical nurse leader. So I'm very excited. And we have a cohort of 25 people graduating, three guys and 22 women. And so we came in together 2 years ago in 2018. We started with like a summer introductory class in June 2018, and our semester formally started in August 2018. Wow, time just went by. It's amazing, and it's an amazing program. So I would recommend all those who are interested in becoming clinical nurse leader to apply to that program. And congratulations to those who got accepted for fall 2020. So CNL cohort 2022. So I want to give a shout out to my cohort, CNL Clinical Nurse Leader Cohort 2020. And also I want to give a shout out to CNL cohort for 2021, who will be graduating 1 year from now. It was great to see some of you at our Chinese New Moon Festival celebration in September 2019. I'm the president of Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Initiative, which is a Walsh School of Foreign Service group at Georgetown University. And I'm actually the first non-School of Foreign Service guy to a person to be a president of a School of Foreign Service group. And it focuses on diplomacy. So we threw a Chinese New Moon Festival party. So it was really good to see some of you Clinical Nurse Leader Cohort 2021 members. And I also want to give a shout out to Clinical Nurse Leader 2019 cohort members who graduated 1 year ago. And it was great to attend your graduation ceremony and your pinning ceremony. And so, we are, I'm very excited that you've been working as clinical nurse leaders for 1 year. So congratulations for that. We had a couple cohort members from last year join us for Zoom, our cohort 2020 for Zoom, and talk about their experiences. So thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. I also want to thank last year's president of Clinical Nurse Leader 2019 cohort, Megan LaSavage. She's amazing. She was a great president and made all of us in Clinical Nurse Leader Cohort 2020 feel welcome and accepted. So I wanted to thank you for that, Megan. And Megan LaSavage is right now working as a nurse in NICU, so intensive care unit at Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. And so, yeah, she's amazing. So thank you for being a great leader and making us feel welcome. Yeah, so I'm wearing my festive mask today because, we're celebrating at Georgetown graduation 2020. So unfortunately, everything is closed. The campus is closed, so we can't even visit the campus even if we wanted. So Clinical 2020, we wanted to take a group photo, but I guess that's not going to happen, unfortunately, certainly not in June. Yeah, the campus is closed. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, we've been taking our classes remotely through Zoom, and we took our last final on Friday. You can watch the final exam is finished episode from 2 days ago if you want. Um, so yeah, so today I also want to thank several people at Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. We had our board meeting today, um, and it was over Zoom. Generally, we meet near Richmond, Virginia, at the Hanover County uh, Hanover School District central office building, and you know they always have nice donuts and coffee. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna miss out on nice donuts and coffee today. And Ian is in the Ian Shank is in the Hanover County School, and he's like one of the administrators there, math specialist. He's like the director of math at Hanover School District. So, and he's amazing. You know, he's really good at technology, and he always makes us feel welcome. And so, yeah, I want to thank you, Mr. Shank, for all that you've been doing for us at Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. And I also want to thank President Pam Bailey. Today was the last day for her as president of Virginia Council of Teachers Mathematics because her one-year term finished today. Or, you know, it's a one-year term. And so she basically, you know, served as our leader for 1 year, and she was really good. And she's actually Professor Pam Bailey at Mary Baldwin University in Richmond. And she's been phenomenal this year. And today she led our 2-hour meeting really well on Zoom. And so you know, I just want to thank you, Pam, for all that you've done for Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics for 1 year as our leader. And I also wanted to thank the chairman of the conference committee, and that's Tony Sorrell. She's a professor at Longwood University, you know, which is located about 1 hour south of Richmond. She used to be a professor at Virginia Commonwealth University, which is in Richmond, and then she went down to you know, Longwood University as professor there. And you know, we had our Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics conference in 2019 at Longwood University, and Professor Sorrell, you know, Tony was amazing, and she, you know, she was amazing this year as well. Unfortunately, our Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics conference 2020 was canceled, and it was supposed to be a Virginia Council of Teachers, Virginia Commonwealth University, but you know, COVID-19 hit, and so the Virginia Commonwealth University canceled it. So unfortunately, we weren't able to have our meeting with all the math professors from universities throughout Virginia, and all the math teachers from pre-K to 12th grade, because Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics is a professional association for math teachers and professors from pre-K to PhD programs. And so, yeah, so next year our conference will be at Virginia's University, JMU. So James Madison University. And so we're really looking forward to that. So if you're a math teacher in Virginia's 8th District, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, I would encourage you to visit our website at VCTM, Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. You just put that on the Google and you'll come to our page. And then if you're not a member of Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics, I would encourage you to become a member. because you will receive a lot of important resources at the state level, and we work actively with Virginia Department of Education, VDO. And so you will get access to the latest updates officially at the Virginia Department of Education level, and we provide a lot of resources for you and that can help you during COVID-19. And just generally, you know, we're the professional association for Virginia professors and Virginia teachers. So if you're a professor at, you know, Nova Community College or George Mason University, or, you know, any of the, or Marymount University in Arlington, yeah, I would say, yeah, if you're not a member yet, become a member. If you're a math professor or educator or teacher, and come to our conference at James Madison University next year in 2021. It's always exciting, you know, to discuss mathematics. And we have a publication as well, Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics, a publication. So if you want to submit an article, research article, you know, if you're a professor at Marymount University in Arlington or George Mason University in Fairfax County or Nova Community College, please submit your articles for publication with us. We'll be happy to review that. And we have fellowship opportunities for professors and teachers of mathematics. So visit our website because, you know, we give research grants and project grants. And yeah, it's a good opportunity to get funded for your research. You know, if you're a professor at Marymount University or in Virginia's 8th District or Nova, Northern Virginia Community College, yeah, apply to these programs. If you're a math teacher, math professor in any of the school districts, Arlington Public Schools, Alexandria City Public Schools, Falls Church City Public Schools, and Fairfax County Public Schools, yeah, please apply, you know, for these funding, sign up for membership, VCTM website, Virginia Council of Teachers and Mathematics website. So I hope to see all of you at the conference at James Madison University in 2021. Yeah, so that'll be great. So we had a really great, great board meeting today at Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics over Zoom. And unfortunately, you know, Tony Sorrell, she's stepping down, she announced today. And I was like, oh no, Professor Tony Sorrell, you know, Longwood University, she's such a great leader and professor who have made our conferences such a phenomenal success. I was like so sad that she was stepping down. She has professional obligations and stuff like that. I guess that's causing her to step down. So I was like, oh no. So she asked, you know, who wants to be the new chair, and I really wanted to volunteer because, you know, I worked with her, you know, for 2 years in the conference committee, and you know, and she's a great person. So, you know, and she said she would mentor whoever is the new chair of the conference committee. So I was going to volunteer, but I'm running for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th district for November 3rd, 2020 general election as an independent candidate, as you know. And I could, so I was so tempted to volunteer to be the new chair. There was like this long pause of silence, and I was like, oh, I really want to be the chair, you know, organize these math conferences for math professors and math teachers throughout the state of Virginia. But I said, well, you know, I gotta focus kind of right now on my campaign to become the U.S. Congressman. So, you know, I didn't volunteer, but but anyway, you know, yeah, next time, you know, I'll definitely support the conference, you know, so I'm very, you know, excited to continue to work with Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. I also am involved with, I'm in the team of the fellowship committee, the scholarship committee. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of plugging for the funding. So, you know, please apply to our fellowships, you know. we want good people to get the money to do the research projects on math and math education in Virginia to advance it. So yeah, we want to support you. So visit our Virginia Council of Teachers and Mathematics website and become a member today. And then you'll start receiving all our stuff. And then, you'll be part of our professional association. So you can, write that on your resume or LinkedIn account, and it will help you professionally as well as you climb up that professional ladder as a math teacher or math professor in a university, like at Marymount University in Arlington. Yeah, this will help you professionally. We're connected to the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics at the national level. I'm like a reader, or I work with the editorial committee for national journals published through National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, such as Mathematics Teacher and Teaching Children Mathematics. Yeah, several of them. So they give me articles to review for publication. So I'm very active in the Professional Math Association at the national level and also at the state level. So I encourage all of you watching me, now all the math teachers at Fairfax County Public Schools and Arlington County Public Schools, Alexandria City Public Schools, Falls Church City Public Schools, to join Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. Yeah, let's work on improving math together for children in Virginia. And I hope to work with the new superintendent at Arlington County Public Schools. He used to be superintendent at Trenton, New Jersey Public Schools, and he's worked with Fairfax County Public Schools in the administration capacity at the central office, and now he was chosen by Arlington County Board to be our new superintendent of Arlington County Public Schools. So I congratulate you on your new appointment, and I look forward to working with you to make Arlington County Public Schools better. And also, especially in my official capacity for Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics, I hope to involve more or all of Arlington County public schools math teachers in VCTM programs and activities and conferences. So I look forward to working with you as new superintendent of Arlington Public Schools. I've talked with interim Arlington County Public School Superintendent about supporting math teachers and math teacher involvement with Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics, and she was very supportive of that. So thank you so much for your support of VCTM. So I hope we can count on you, our new superintendent at Arlington County Public Schools, for you to be actively promote math teacher involvement in Virginia Council of Teachers of Mathematics. So, I'll get in contact with you soon. I think you start in June, right? So, once you start, I look forward to working with you. And as you know, I'm running for Virginia 8th District, U.S. Congress. I'm hoping to be elected to U.S. Congress, and I want to improve math education nationally. So, hopefully, I can become the U.S. Congressman. I need your vote, so vote for me on November 3rd, 2020. I'm independent. The current U.S. Congressman is Don Beyer, so I'm running against him. Today, Fairfax County Republican Committee, held, I guess, like a debate between my friends, Jeff Jordan and Mark Elmore. Mark Elmore, I like him a lot. I like Jeff too. So one of them will be the Republican candidate. I was originally going to run as a Republican, but you can watch the video at the end of this video to see why that didn't happen, unfortunately. But God God works in mysterious ways, so I'm running as an independent. And as much as I like Jeff and Mark. Uh, I think I'm the best out of everyone. So vote for me for Virginia's 8th district on November 3rd, 2020. So I'll be running against, um, the Republican candidate, whoever wins, either Mark Elmore or Jeff Jordan, and also the current U.S. Congressman, Don Beyer. So yeah, vote for me, Heerak, Christian Kim. So look for my name on November ballot and vote for me. I believe I'm the best to upgrade Virginia's 8th district, and I think you agree with me. So vote for me. Yeah. So yeah. So let's go to the figures, and the mask comes off. Yeah, so we are kind of having similar figures as yesterday. So around a little bit over 1,500 deaths. For 3 days, we had over 2,000 deaths. And now yesterday and today, yesterday and the day before, we had around 1,500, a little bit above 1,500 deaths. So we're not really sure exactly what the new average will be. It may be around 1,500, it may be around 2,000, it may be higher. We have to see because we need longer patterns to see what the new pattern is. So the total death yesterday was 77,178, and 1,568 people died. So today's total death figure stands at 78,746. Total cases are climbing at around the same rate, which is around 30,000 a day. So yesterday's total was 1,283,829. Today, it's supposed to be May 9, 2020. But 8 and 9 wants to be together. What can you say? So it's it is now at 1,309,164. I thought we should revisit the top COVID-19 death in the United States, and it's a disturbing pattern that we see. Yeah, it's kind of sad, excuse me. Yeah, it's very sad. Because the numbers are going up phenomenally, and that's just very disturbing. Look at New York, numbers still going up. It's 26,563 deaths now. That's total death. And it seems like COVID-19 has mutated. Now it's killing children. As of today, 3 children have died from COVID-19. And that's a new thing because children weren't dying for a couple months. But now children are getting COVID and dying. So it seems to represent a mutation of COVID-19 virus, because the same virus did not kill children before, but now it's killing children. So it's not the same virus. It has mutated. Because we've had COVID in New York for over 2 months. So if it's the same virus, it should have started killing children from the very beginning, but it hasn't. It's only been recent that children have become infected. There are like over 70 children in New York City who got infected and showed similar symptoms. And now, day before yesterday, I think one person died. Yesterday, another person died. Today, another person died. So we have a total of 3 deaths in New York City from the same symptoms, signs and symptoms of COVID-19 illness that's exhibiting differently in children, which seems to indicate now we have a COVID-19 that has mutated to specifically target children. That makes sense because when you have 26,563 people dying in a very concentrated area, although more than half of them are in New York City, and then you have the suburbs around New York. When you have so many dying, and then they're using all these different kinds of antibiotics, antiviral medication, all kind of different kind of treatment, on the virus is going to start changing in order to survive, right? So when we say, COVID-19 patients who normally suffer for 3 weeks or 2 weeks and maybe die, they're given certain kind of medication, and then they recover 3 days earlier. On the one level, it's a good news because obviously we want people to recover. But on the other level, it's a bad news because as people recover earlier, the virus is, in a sense, dying early, right, in these patients who are recovering earlier. So the virus was going to fight back. It's going to push back. It doesn't want to die. And normally it doesn't die. It has a normal cycle where they either kill the patient or they just kind of die on their own. But now that you're giving these medication to get them to die, the COVID-19 to die earlier, and for patients to recover earlier, the COVID virus is going to react to those medications and try to become resistant to it. But the COVID-19 doesn't really know what the medication is. So as they start adapting and evolving to survive, that's the rule of evolution, right? I don't believe monkeys became humans, but there is a certain type of evolutionary process, meaning things grow and things develop survival mechanisms. Like if you move from New York to California, you've got to have different mechanisms to survive than if you're in New York. So you're going to adapt to survive in California, and that's going to differ from your adaptation process in New York. In the same way, COVID-19 is going to try to survive in its environment that could be different in New York from California, and so viruses can adapt differently in different areas because it wants to survive. All living organisms want to survive. So that's what I call biological imperative, is to survive. And that's why, I don't believe monkeys became human being. Cesar's not happy that I'm saying that. But Cesar, Bible says God created. So so I don't believe monkeys became humans. God created human beings. But there are certain, developmental processes that exist in humans, that exist in viruses, and some are adaptive to their new environment. And so, evolutionary scientists call that like evolution. And, it's an adaptation, mutation, evolution, interchangeable terms. It just means that living organisms are trying to develop mechanisms to survive in their new environment. And that's what I'm saying COVID-19 is doing, because whenever you have so many people getting COVID and so many people getting the treatments, and some of them recover earlier, which means you've done damage. You kind of assaulted the COVID-19 viruses to get it to die earlier. That's why human beings with COVID are recovering earlier. But now the COVID-19 viruses are going to fight back, but they don't know exactly what the medications are. So they're going to try to evolve in different ways to survive. It's kind of like we're trying different medications on COVID to kill it. So COVID is going to try to develop in different ways to survive, right? So there's going to be hit and miss. So in a sense, we're fighting COVID-19. We're trying to kill COVID. So we're just throwing as many medications, antibody experimentation, trial vaccines at COVID as we can, hoping that one of these things will kill COVID. But you got to remember from the virus's vantage point, right? We're trying to kill COVID, but COVID-19 is trying to kill us by infecting us. So we're trying to kill it by throwing all this medication and chemicals on it. COVID-19 is going to try to survive so that it could do what its biological imperatives tells it to do, which is survival. And for COVID-19 to survive means it has to infect human beings, right, to survive. So that's where the mutation of viruses come in. And obviously we're forcing the mutation in a way because we're throwing all these medications at it. And so COVID-19 is like getting all these medications, and some are kind of like making it die earlier. And COVID-19 is like, hey, we want to survive. So they're trying to evolve in different ways, adapt in different ways to survive. And they're going to try to find a way to survive. Like this medication, that medication. Now we're throwing so many medications at it. They're trying probably millions of combinations to survive. Because we're trying thousands of different combinations to kill COVID. So in any kind of war, there's escalation. I'm the president of a Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Initiative. So the rule of diplomacy is, if you escalate, you know that your enemy will escalate. And as you know, my argument is COVID-19 is an advanced biological weapon created by Chinese Red Army to destroy United States and our capacity to be the top superpower and the global economic power. Advanced experts in genetics research, PhDs from Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Harvard, Yale, Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, went back to China. And there's only one party, it's a communist dictatorship. So they're working, they could get the best minds to work on these genetics research at their military labs. Luxury that we don't have in the United States because we're not a communist dictatorship. So scientists generally go for the money. They don't work for the Department of Defense, which doesn't pay that much. So we don't have the best scientists working in our biological weapons industry, which puts United States at a disadvantage, obviously. And so my theory is that United States is 30 years behind Chinese biological weapons program because they're using the best brains with PhDs from Stanford, MIT, Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, University of San Francisco, top places in America. Top PhDs from these universities who go back to China are co-opted by the Chinese Red Army to develop advanced biological weapons. In America, government cannot force anybody to work for their weapons program. And so you do the math and you can see why I am most likely right when I assert my theory that China has been working on these biological weapons program and with the best minds in the world. Actually, it's not just best minds in China because these Chinese PhDs at Stanford, MIT, Caltech, Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, UCSF, Northwestern, University of Chicago, Duke University. These Chinese PhDs, Chinese national PhD, they're best in the world. They're not just best in China because they're trained by the best minds in America, which probably have the best programs in the world, among the best. And then they go back to China, and then they're going to use their world-class knowledge to work for the Chinese Red Army. When I was at Cambridge University, there were 500 PhD students who were Chinese nationals. And most of them went back to China. And those who engaged in biological research, biogenetics, engineering research at Cambridge University who went back, I'm sure they were co-opted by Chinese Red Army to work on this weapons program. So, when you are a communist dictatorship, one-party system with absolute control, no habeas corpus, no rights, no freedom of speech, no freedom to bear arms, no freedom at all, really, then obviously you have absolute power to use the best scientists to develop your weapons program. So in a sense, our weapons program is no match for Chinese weapons program just because they could easily get the best minds in the world to develop these weapons. We can't. We can't force people to work in our weapons program because we're a democracy and people can choose not to work and develop weapons of mass destruction. A lot of scientists don't want to develop weapons of mass destruction. But in China, you have no choice if you're a Chinese national, right? The Chinese Red Army wants you to work in the Chinese weapons program to develop advanced weapons of mass destruction, whether it's biological or conventional, you're going to be doing it. So so that's why I'm saying Chinese biological weapons program is at least 30 years ahead of us. And COVID-19 is concrete evidence of an advanced genetically modified virus that is a weapon that targets United States and our allied allied nations, NATO countries in Europe. And if you look at the death totals from COVID in Europe and United States, you will say I'm correct. You compare that to death numbers from COVID in Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Latin America. It doesn't even compare. So it's a strategic, smart weapon that's targeting United States and Europe, right? To kill our citizens, destroy our economic infrastructure, and our global superiority. And China basically already won, I would say. But I mean, we can still salvage this, but it's going to be very hard. I mean, this is what I'm saying. You should vote for me to be U.S. Congressman, Virginia's 8th District, so I can go to Congress and work with other congressmen to solve this problem, because COVID-19 is going to continue for the next few years. So it's not like this is going to be gone. So if you elect me to Virginia's 8th District as U.S. Congressman, November 3rd, 2020, I go in January and I work with congressmen while we're still suffering from COVID to survive this. And so you need a Leonardo da Vinci like Heerak, Christian Kim, to go to Congress for you. So that's why you got to vote for me. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Independent, or Republican. You should vote for me for Virginia's 8th District, because I'm the guy who can save America. And I'm sure you want America to be saved. You need a Leonardo da Vinci like me to go to Congress. This is not about pride. This is not about, politics. I mean, you need a Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century to go to Congress to save America. That's why you need me to go. It's in your interest to vote for me for 2020, November 3rd, general elections for Arlington, Alexandria Falls, Church, and Fairfax County. And you know that. You have to vote for me. Right now, Virginia Board of Elections is giving me tough time, and Governor Ralph Northam is not being fair. I've shared with you that on March 30th, 2020, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam, who's a Democrat, issued the stay-at-home order, and he said it's going to last until June 10th or June 11th, one day after I'm supposed to submit 1,000 signatures, petition signatures, to be on the ballot for November 3rd in Virginia. I am an official candidate for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District. I'm official federal political candidate. I'm registered with Federal Election Commission, FEC. I'm registered with U.S. Congress as an official candidate. These are two different bodies, because U.S. Congress is U.S. Congress. So I'm registered with them as an official candidate. And Federal Election Commission is like, it oversees all federal level elections. So I'm an official candidate registered with them. So I'm an official candidate, federal candidate, but I need to be on a state ballot. And for me to be on a state ballot as an independent candidate for U.S. Congress, I need 1,000 signatures. Now, Governor Northam knows this, and that's why I'm arguing he issued that on March 30th, a stay-at-home order that is supposed to last until June 10th or June 11th, one day after I have to submit 1,000 signatures, thereby making it impossible for me to collect 1,000 signatures in order to block me out of Virginia's ballot box. It's not that hard collecting 1,000 signatures. I have staff members, I have volunteers, dozens of volunteers who want to get signatures for me, but they can't go door to door and knock asking for signature, because that's illegal. There's a stay-at-home order, and you can't do that. It'd be a violation of Governor Northam's executive order, and they could be arrested by the police and thrown into prison for violating executive order of Governor Ralph Northam. I'm saying that this is a political ploy by Governor Ralph Northam to block me out of Virginia's ballot box, even though I'm an official candidate of U.S. Congress. There's a technicality there, because I have to get 1,000 signatures to be on the Virginia's ballot for November. And that's you can visit Virginia Board of Elections website and see that. But, Virginia Governor Northam issuing a stay-at-home order makes it illegal for me and my people to go and collect signatures. 1,000 signatures is not many signatures. You can collect them fairly easily, but we can't go door to door to collect them. because of the stay-at-home order that Governor Northam issued unilaterally as an executive order as the governor of Virginia, as an emergency measure. And so I wrote to Virginia Board of Elections on March 30th, when the day he issued that order, asking for a waiver of the 1,000 signatures since Virginia Governor Northam issued the order. Now, I'm not getting any written replies back, even though I've specifically requested written replies from Virginia Board of Elections. And I've wrote to them several times. I emailed them, I called them, left messages. They still have not sent me the official letter. And so, and I sent in all the documentation to be on the ballot. So in Virginia, with Virginia Board of Elections. So it seems like they're kind of playing dirty politics. Virginia Board of Elections is playing dirty politics with Virginia Governor Northam to block Heerak Christian Kim, an independent candidate, out of the ballot box because they're afraid that I will win, beat Don Meyer. I mean, does Virginia need to have this kind of dirty politicking? No. So whether you are a Democrat, Republican, or independent, you should write to Governor Northam of Virginia protesting this, and to Virginia Board of Elections protesting this. You need me to go to U.S. Congress, so you have to work to help me get to U.S. Congress. It's in your interest, and it's in the interest of your children. You need a Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century to go there. And you've been watching this show, and I've been right all this time. When CNN was wrong, Fox News was wrong, PBS was wrong, CNN, BBC was wrong, Sky News was wrong. I was right consistently. Even with Dr. Fauci, I pointed out some problems he has, and I've been more correct than Dr. Fauci in the long run. He's changed his mind probably after watching this show. And also like things that as they develop, which I predicted accurately. And I'm convinced President Trump is watching this show every day because he seems to follow my advice, which is a smart thing because I'm the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. It is smart for President Trump to follow my advice if he wants to save this nation, right? So, yeah. But obviously, you need me in U.S. Congress to work with all the U.S. congressmen to pass laws that will help you and your children and help America survive, especially what I'm calling, and this is my theory, I feel I'm correct, that we have been preemptively attacked by China via its advanced weapon of mass destruction, biological weapon, which is COVID-19 that has been genetically modified. Obviously, we're 30 years behind China in genetics research. We're not going to be able to find out in time before our country is completely destroyed by COVID-19 how to fix this problem. Unless you have Leonardo da Vinci in US Congress to pass laws quickly to fix this problem. That's why I'm saying you need to send me to Congress. If your interest is in the interest of the United States of America, we're looking at a situation where the United States of America will become a third world nation in 3-4 years. Third world nation. We have over 30 million people unemployed in the United States right now. State of Massachusetts said in April, they have 50% drop in revenue. And this is happening across the country. Our country is collapsing, not just at the federal level, but at the state levels, local levels. I received Twitter from tweets from Arlington County Arlington County Board, Fairfax County, and they're all revising their annual budget because there's such a drop in revenue. And so this is happening all across Virginia. It's certainly happening in Virginia's 8th district. I got a tweet back from Alexandria City Council, city government, saying that they still have enough money to weather this. But I'm saying, well, it's still only a couple months into COVID-19. All the experts are saying that it's 2 years away. I didn't tweet back because I don't want to discourage them, but I'm telling you now because we're only 2 months in, and we have to be realistic. Things are going to happen. We're having an average of 2 to 4 million people filing on unemployment every week, and that's going to happen the next week. That's going to happen the week after that. So you see why I'm saying that we can become a third world nation. I mean, you may not think that we can, because it seems out of the ordinary, so fantastical. But look at us. We're all at home. You're not going to work. And there are over 1,500 people dying every day. In 10 days, you have 15,000 people dying. In 20 days, you have 30,000 people dying. In 30 days, you have 45,000 people dying at this rate. This is no joke. Now, New York, we have 3 children dead from a new strain of COVID. And since we did not quarantine New York off like I suggested, like, watch my shows, I suggested we quarantine New York off, and I still suggest that, because New York is such a biological experimentation place with all these drugs being thrown at people with COVID and people dying with COVID and COVID-19 trying to evolve and mutate to fight back. We need to quarantine New York off in order to protect the rest of the country from new strains of COVID-19. Now, can you imagine if this new strain of COVID-19 that kills children come to Virginia? It will come to Virginia if we don't quarantine New York. It's 100% certain. Your children will die from the new strain of COVID-19 that's killing children in New York. It's 100% certain. If we don't quarantine New York off, contact trace, I mean, we can't even contact trace because it's a different strain of COVID. We don't know what all the strains are. We're just saying COVID-19. And there's like over 30 strains that's been identified. And obviously new strains are being created every day all over the world. In New York, we have this new strain that's killing children that has not really been identified yet, separately from other COVID strains. And it may take a year or more to identify that new strain. It's just a slight evolutionary change. And COVID-19 is a small little teeny virus. How are scientists going to locate the variation? They have to do advanced genetics research, and they're not going to find the variation, maybe for years. And this new strain, which we cannot separately identify from other strains that already exist, so far they haven't identified it, are going to come to Virginia, right, through Amtrak train that comes from New York to Washington, D.C. They're going to come to Virginia, and it's going to kill your children. Watch. They're going to start, watch the news. They're going to report a first case of Virginian child who has the same symptoms as children, over 70 children in New York has. And then they're going to say, oh, we have another case. We're going to have another case. And soon we're going to have 70 cases in Virginia, in Virginia's 8th district, Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County, because this is closest to Washington, D.C. And if we have Amtrak service from New York to Washington, D.C., that's a direct line for the virus, the new strain, to hit your children. Your children are going to die from this. Hopefully not. This is why I'm giving you this show, so you can prepare, so you can protect your children. This is why it's absolutely necessary for everyone in Virginia's 8th district to watch this show every day. Because I give you news that you don't get from CNN, Fox News, PBS, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News. I give you facts and expert analysis as someone who has multiple expertise, the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. You're not going to get the analysis that I give you anywhere else in the world. And so you need this analysis to survive. And I'm telling you now that is 100% certain without a quarantining of New York, 100% blocking off of New York, where there's a biological evolutionary process of COVID-19 going on with all kinds of medicines thrown at COVID-19 patients in a very concentrated area. where over 70 children have been infected by the new strain. I'm arguing that it's a new strain of COVID-19 that didn't kill children before, now are killing children, one per day so far in the last 3 days. That's going to come to Virginia and it's going to kill your children. Can you imagine what will happen if Virginia schools open in fall of 2020 as this strain comes to America? And now this strain will pass from child to child in Arlington County Public Schools, Alexandria City Public Schools, Fairfax County Public Schools, Arlington County Public Schools. You may have hundreds of children dying in Virginia's 8th district every day with this new strain. Because right now, none of the children are going to school. We're talking about like children who are like 4 or 5 years old, 6 or 7 years old. They're at home and they're getting this. Probably because their parents are going to a supermarket without N95 mask and they're getting infected. You need an N95 mask to be most effective in protecting you. And that's why I tweeted that US federal government must mass produce N95 masks for all US citizens. I tweeted this. If you're following me on Twitter, you have seen these tweets. Follow me on Twitter because you will get tweets that you need. I am arguing the federal government needs to develop N95 masks for every American. That's 330 million Americans. At least one N95 mask per day. That's what I'm arguing. They don't have a vaccine for COVID-19. They don't have a cure for COVID-19. They're throwing all these medications, which they say will reduce the number of hospital stay. They're not guaranteeing will save you from death. It's just going to reduce your hospital stay if you're one of these, struggler ones who are not going to die from COVID. No one is saying that it's going to save you from COVID death. It's just going to reduce hospital stay for those people who are going to not die anyway. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you the facts like it is. I'm going to give you all the facts. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Because you need to survive, and if you don't have the facts, you're not going to survive. Do you want sugar-coated information that's not going to help you survive? Or do you want brutal facts that's going to help you prepare so that you can survive? Do you see what I'm saying? So if we don't have a vaccine, and we may never develop a vaccine. There's no vaccine for hepatitis C virus. After decades of research, there's no vaccine. People today get hepatitis C, they get cirrhosis of liver because of the infection, and they die in a very painful and horrific way. I'll talk about this some other day. So there may never be a vaccine for COVID-19. So don't count on it. So what are the factors that we can control? We can create N95 masks. I'm a problem solver. I'm Heerak, the problem solver. So let's study this situation. Okay, you're intelligent, right? You can think logically. We do not have vaccine. We do not have a cure. Now COVID-19 has mutated to kill children, and scientists do not know COVID-19. They don't know what it is. They still don't know. Ask any scientist what COVID-19 is. They don't know. They're like, it's a virus. But they don't know if you could be reinfected. They don't certainly know how to kill it or prevent it, because vaccine and cure they don't know how to develop these things. There are over 110 trials for vaccines going on. None of them are working on humans. What can we control right now? We can control production of N95 masks. We know that N95 mask is not 100% proof, because there are a lot of nurses getting COVID-19 with N95 masks on, but it protects you better than if you don't have it. So, if I were to guess, because no one knows what COVID is, and no one really knows how effective N95 masks are against COVID. Like, if it's 100%, it's definitely not 100% effective because all these nurses are getting COVID. But, nobody knows if it's 80% effective, 70% effective, 50% effective, but it's the best that we have now on the market, well, it's not the best because there's 800 masks, which is better. But we need to develop these N95 masks, mass produce it, and give it or sell it at CVS or Walgreens, Rite Aid pharmacies for 330 million Americans to be able to get it. Don't you think that's a fair way to go? And I've tweeted this out. I mean, do you want Americans to keep dying? I mean, even with N95 masks, there will be people dying. But it will reduce the number of people dying. Do you see why you need me in U.S. Congress? Do you hear any U.S. congressman talking about providing N95 masks for U.S. citizens? I want to save your life, and I know how to save your life. Other congressmen and senators, have you heard them say, we need to produce N95 masks to save U.S. citizen lives? Have you heard that? Anywhere on TV? This is because Heerak is a problem solver that you need in U.S. Congress to save you and your children's lives. I'm thinking like light years ahead of everyone right now. Light years ahead of everyone. But this is what knowledge does. Knowledge is power. Knowledge can save you. That's why you need Heerak in U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District. So I am pushing that we mass produce N95 masks, not just regular masks, N95 masks for every US citizen to have at least one per day. I actually am calling for producing 1 trillion PPEs per day because we cannot create a vaccine because we don't have the expertise in science to do that. Scientists don't even know what N95, what COVID is. But we do have the technology to produce N95 masks. We can mass produce it if we create factories to mass produce it. So there are factors that we cannot control. We cannot control when we're going to develop a vaccine. We cannot control when we're going to develop a cure. What we can control is how many N95 masks we can make. That is something we can control. So I am logically and rationally saying, let's work on things that we can control, that we can do today to save lives. Do you see what I'm saying? This makes 100% sense. Because now, whenever you go shopping, what, you have to make your own masks? I mean, that was cute in March or April when US government was kind of dazed and confused because they didn't know what to do. So many people were getting it. But now we're in May. You cannot be telling people, make your own masks. That's ridiculous. We need to make professional grade masks that will protect every US citizen. Well, what are you going to do? In year 2020, are people going to come on TV and say, yes, make your own mask? Yeah, just take one of these and go like this and make your own mask. And Dr. Gupta says, oh, it's not going to protect you. You could still die from COVID, but it's going to protect other people. I disagree with that. Whatever mask that you make, whatever way you can block the entry for virus, it's going to upgrade your chance of survival. So having a paper mask is better than not having any mask. Having a mask made out of cloth is better than a paper mask. Having a surgical mask is better than a cloth mask. Having an N95 mask is better than surgical mask. You see what I'm saying? What I'm proposing is let's get the best that's available for every US citizen, N95 masks. Let's create factories to make these N95 masks to protect US citizens. Is this an irrational thing to say? No, it's a rational thing to say because I'm trying to save your life. And there is a way to save your life. Create N95 masks. I mean, we can't give you an N95 mask for 365 days because if you keep using it and virus could enter the mask. So that's why I'm saying we need to create 1 trillion PPEs per day. So, you could have several that you could use per day. You don't want to use it for like 24 hours because there could be virus that collects inside. Once you use it and you take it off, virus can collect. Do you see how rational I am? I'm trying to save your life, reduce this death, reduce the damage caused by what I'm calling, my theory, a biological weapon, preemptive weapons of mass destruction strike by the Chinese government to destroy our country and kill our population. I'm trying to find a way to save our population, to save US citizens. Am I being irrational? No. Isn't this a priority? Yes. It is a priority of the US government, of the Virginia government, of Arlington County Board to save your life. There's nothing more important than that. Because if you die, it's game over. Doesn't matter if you've got Harvard bachelor's, MBA from Wharton, PhD from Stanford. It's useless if you die. If you die, it's game over. So the priority is to make sure you don't die. There's nothing more important than that. And unfortunately, Arlington County Board doesn't understand this. Alexandria City government doesn't understand this. Fairfax County government doesn't understand this. Falls Church City government doesn't understand this. They're talking about all these other things. They're not talking about how to save your life. And that's the problem. This is why you need me to go and solve this problem for you. Because they're not focusing on the most important thing, that is to save your life. They're focusing on everything else. And as I say, if you die, it's game over. So I want to focus on saving your life. And that's why you need to vote for me for Virginia's 8th district. Because Tom Byer is not focusing on saving your life. I am focusing on saving your life. You need me to represent you in U.S. Congress. Because right now, no other congressman in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party is talking about producing N95 masks to save your life. But here are Christian Kim, independent candidate for U.S. Congress, is. That's why you need me. So this is to your detriment that Virginia Governor Northam and Virginia Board of Election is trying to block Heerak Christian Kim out of the ballot box for November. Because I'm trying to save your life. Your life depends on whether I'm on the ballot box and become your congressman. It's very simple. Because every U.S. congressman who's a Democrat or Republican, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing how they could change your life. Even though there are 1,500 people are dying every day, they act like no one's dying. That's the most ridiculous thing. There are 1,500 people dying every day, and they're pretending like nobody's dying? What kind of ridiculousness is this? Whether it's Republican or Democrat, it's ridiculous to ignore 1,500 people dying every day. You cannot ignore this. And I want to save your life. And that's why you need to fight for me with Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. You need to fight for me with Virginia Board of Elections. Get me on the ballot, vote for me, send me to Congress. Because nobody cares about your life right now. I am the one who's saying, let's make N95 masks. Everyone else is talking about vaccine. It's like they're chasing a dream that's never going to come true. Vaccine that's going to never be created while 1,500 people die. I am saying, let's fix this now. Let's reduce the number of 1,500 people dying now, right? Who cares about the vaccine that may develop 2 years from now if you're dead? You see what I'm saying? So the Republicans and Democrats who talk about all these vaccine that they're working on, that's not going to help you if you die before the vaccine develops. I am saying, let's save you now. Let's save your children now. You see what I'm saying? This is why you need me to represent you at the federal government level. Because right now, the Democrats and Republicans are not meeting your needs. And you know what I'm saying? They are not meeting your needs. They're not saving your life. They're not doing anything they need to do to save your life. Vaccine is not going to save your life when it's not going to develop for months or years. I am saying, let's save your life now with N95 masks. Why should New York Governor Cuomo have his supply of N95 masks? Have you seen him? Whenever he comes on, he comes in with his N95 mask, and he's like, "Oh, this is an ugly mask, but I'm going to wear it." It's N95 mask, is like the best mask that's on the market right now. Well, it's not the best. I mean, N100 mask is the best, but yeah. But the point is this: you deserve to live as much as Governor Cuomo. He has access to N95 masks. Why shouldn't you? Why should you die because you don't have access to N95 masks? So this is what I'm saying. It was cute when you as federal government representatives said, make your own mask. Yes, it was cute in March. And when, Dr. Gupta on CNN made his mask in March or April, it was cute. Well, I don't know. I didn't think it was a very cute when Dr. Gupta made it, but maybe some women out there might have thought so. But it's not cute now. In May, we're 3 months in to COVID-19 since we kind of identified it more publicly in March. We should not be telling people to make their own masks. We should still be telling them to make their own masks, but we should be making masks for the American people as a government, federal government. Right, 1,500 people are dying, and nobody was talking about making masks for U.S. citizens. You see how ridiculous it is? The Republicans and Democrats, they're failing you. All of them are failing you. Because they're not even talking about making masks for you. But they have a special mask for Democratic governors who do these TV shows, like Governor Cuomo, but they want you to die because they're telling you, make your own mask. And Dr. Gupta gets on, oh, it's not going to protect you, but it's going to protect other people. So make your mask so you don't infect people. I'm like, who's more important, your life or other people's life? Your life for me, I'm like, save your life. Your life is so important. I want to save your life. And Dr. Gupta and all these people are like, well, wear a mask to save other people's lives. No, I want to save your life. Your life is important to me. For Dr. Gupta, other people's lives are important. For me, your life is important. Do you see why you need me? Because Republican Party is failing you, Democratic Party is failing you right now. It's a big problem because I want you to live, but because Democrats and Republicans are blinded because they don't have, Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century there. So they're not even talking about this issue that's going to solve the problem. Can you see what's going to happen for the next 2 years without a vaccine, which is the likely odds? How many people will die? Yeah, this is why you need to fight for me. You need to vote for me. You need to send me to U.S. Congress. New Jersey has over 9,116 people who have died from COVID. Look at that. It's rising. Massachusetts has 4,840 deaths. It's ranked 3. Ranked 4 is Michigan, 4,530 deaths. Ranked 5 is Pennsylvania, 3,779 deaths. There are people who want you to go back to work without N95 masks. They want you to die from COVID. It's ridiculous. I mean, I want every American to go back to work, but they need protection. You don't send them out to war without a gun. That's what's happening. And I'm a strong believer in the Second Amendment rights. You have the right to bear arms to protect yourself from any danger out there. So let's put this in the context of COVID-19. How could you say you believe in the right to bear arms, protect yourself, and then go on to say, oh, we're not going to give you a mask. We're not going to have stores where you can buy N95 masks to protect yourself against COVID, but you should still go to work. That's like an anti-Second Amendment rights ideology. Every Republican who says, I believe in right to bear arms, but I don't believe that we should make available N95 masks for you when you go to work so you can protect yourself, they're hypocrites. I stand against these Republicans, Democrat, and NRA supporters who do not think that you should have N95 masks to protect yourself. Because the spirit of Second Amendment is to be able to protect yourself. That's why you have the right to bear arms. You have the right to protect yourself. That's why, I mean, I support NRA. I support the Second Amendment because I believe you have the right to protect yourself by having a gun, to protect yourself. In the same way, in the spirit of the Second Amendment, I believe that you have the right to protect yourself from COVID-19 with an N95 mask. So why do these hypocritical Republicans say that you have the right to bear arms to protect your life, but you don't have the right to have N95 masks to protect your life? Hypocrites! I stand against you. Thank God I'm an independent, right? I'm not going to toe a party line. I'm not going to let American people die just because you establishment Republicans oppose N95 masks for U.S. citizens, not all of you, but some of you, or you Democrats oppose N95 masks for America's workers. Americans' worker lives are just as important as New York Governor Cuomo's life. Every U.S. citizen, however poor, however uneducated, however low in social ladder, deserves a right to live with N95 masks. So you're gonna give N95 masks to Governor Cuomo, all these important Democrats, and then you're gonna say, oh, you US citizens, you working class people, make your own mask. Oh, it's not gonna protect you, but it's gonna stop you from infecting others. I'm like, what? What, Dr. Gupta? Well, I mean, you don't care about Americans? And you're like, oh, you could die even with a mask, but with a self-made mask, but you're not gonna, you're gonna reduce chances of infecting others. I mean, Dr. Gupta, man, you should care more about American citizen lives. I care about Americans. I don't want anybody to die. That's why I want N95 masks for everyone. Everyone. Even criminals in prison system deserve N95 masks. Why should they die from COVID? That's inhumane. Everyone should get N95 masks. And N95 masks should be provided to all the criminals within the prison system. And you Democrats are hypocrites because you don't believe that all the criminals in prison penal systems, state prisons, jails, correctional facilities should get N95 masks. You hypocrite Democrats. This is why you need me in U.S. Congress. Because Congress is filled with hypocrites in both parties who don't care about your life. I care about your life. That's why you need to vote for me. That's why you need to vote for me. It's as simple as that. Now, I am going to, there's so many people dying in America. It's kind of hard to celebrate, graduation because it's like the happiest time, right? I mean, geez, I'm graduating from Georgetown University with master's degree from School of Nursing and Health Study with concentration in clinical nurse leader. It's like the happiest time, right? I should be happy and doing all these happy things, but over 1,000 people are dying every day in the United States. I mean, geez, it's hard to be happy, but I'll try to force myself to be happy, because, you got to be happy on happy things, right? In celebration of my graduation, I'm kind of going down some memory lane. So come down with me through my memory lane and get to know me a little bit better. Because, I want to get to know you. I want you to get to know me. So I'm sharing my life, right, with you. Obviously, I want you to live. That's more important. So that's my priority. That's why I created this show, COVID-19 Update by Heerak, to save your life, save your children's life, right? Because you're important to me. Saving your life is important to me. And so, also, I want you to get to know me, because I want to be your congressman. I want to be in U.S. Capitol Hill and U.S. Congress so I could work at the official level to save your life. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm running for Congress for you. And so, I want you to get to know me. I want to get to know you, obviously, but, I want you to get to know me as well. So one of the things that I want to share is Hoyathon 2019. We have great leaders, Kalia Karas, she's from Florida. She started Hoyathon in year 2018. and so it's a dance-a-thon to raise money for Children's National Hospital. And Kalia is an amazing person. Kalia Karas, um, she's amazing. I mean, she's very, very intelligent. And she's class of 2020 as well. She's graduating this year from her bachelor's program at Georgetown University. So she started Hoyathon in her, um, I guess, junior year. And so Hoyathon 2018 was the first Hoyathon at Georgetown University, which is a dance-a-thon. So you dance for like 12 hours in order to raise money for Children's National Hospital, which is the children's hospital in Washington, D.C. And I've done my nursing clinicals at Children's National Hospital, pediatric nursing clinical. And I shared the story of how I put a little NG tube down the nostril, nasogastric tube. So you put this long tube through the nose of the little baby down to her stomach to feed her because she wasn't drinking the formula which she was supposed to drink. She was born prematurely at less than 1 pound. And she's been a couple of weeks out of the, of her mother's womb. And, so I was trying to feed her and she was rejecting the formula. So I had to put the NG tube in order to feed her. And she was like little baby. I think she was like 40 weeks. It's 42 weeks. I mean, she was prematurely born. So generally babies are born around 40 weeks, but she was born prematurely at less than 1 pound. I shared the story about watch that video, from episodes ago. And I took care of spina bifida children. And other children with other conditions. And I know I'm a very good nurse. So any hospital that will hire me and have me as a nurse is very lucky. I'm hoping to, work as a nurse, clinical nurse leader at Georgetown MedStar Hospital, Georgetown University Hospital, which is like right by Georgetown University campus. So, starting August. Because our graduation ceremony was originally scheduled for May, but we do have a summer class, so technically we graduate like in May. But we participate in the graduation ceremonies in May. So I want to start working at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital. Ideally with helping COVID patients survive. But let's see. I know they're using more professional experts. But COVID is going a long time, so maybe by like September, I'd be able to take care of COVID-19 after, the training they gave me specifically for COVID. But we'll see, so basically I'll be, saving lives of COVID patients. That's, as a nurse. I'm also going to apply to Virginia Hospital Center in Arlington because, I want to save lives of my neighbors, in Arlington. And I'll probably also apply to Innova Fairfax and Innova Alexandria Hospital because, they're my neighbors as well, and they're my voters, Virginia State District. So I love my voters the best because, I represent, when I get elected as U.S. Congressman, I represent you. So I care most about you. So I want to work as a nurse in areas where you are. Obviously, the reason that I'm choosing Georgetown MedStar Georgetown University Hospital is because I'm at Georgetown now, so I know everybody. So I feel like initial work as a clinical nurse leader, maybe better there, and also like a lot of Arlington residents and Alexandria residents go to MedStar Georgetown as well. So there's a personal thing. My attachment to Georgetown after being there 2 years. My professors work at MedStar Georgetown Hospital as nurses, and so I love my professors. So I like to work with them, saving COVID-19 patients. So I feel like I could maximize my ability to save people in a setting where people know me well. So that's why I'm prioritizing Georgetown Hospital. But yeah, but we'll see where God will lead me. Yeah, so we have that picking up in Arlington, uh, Virginia, and this is the epicenter of Virginia. Um, and Pennsylvania had less than 1,000 deaths like a couple weeks ago, and now it's like over 3,000. So we're a little bit less than 1,000 now. So in 3 weeks, we could have like over 3,000 people die. Excuse me. May is allergy season, as you know. Yeah, so let's see, where God leads. So I did Hoyathon first year in 2018 because Megan LeSavage, who was our president, at the Graduate Nursing Students Association at Georgetown University, and she was in the cohort 2019, and she was the president. And generally, the final year CNL cohort has the president. So um, um, this year, president of Georgetown Graduate Student Nursing Society is clinical nurse leader cohort 2020 member. She's Meredith Goodrich. So she's our president. And she's really good. She's amazing leader. And she's the one who threw the Halloween 2018 party when we first came. And maybe I'll share photos from that, with you. I dressed up like Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Yeah, so I was dressed as a Spider-Man, and I was sharing yesterday that Meredith had a wig on, so I wore a wig yesterday. So if you want to see me with a wig, watch yesterday's episode. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So in year 2018, when Megan LeSavage was the president of Georgetown Graduate Nurses Association, she invited all of us to participate in Hoyathon, and she actually created a team, Megan LeSavage. And so I'm like, well, helping Children's National Hospital to raise money, I'm there. So I went, and unfortunately, there were like 3 people there. I'm like, what the heck? So there was Megan LeSavage. There's another person from like her friend from her cohort, and there's like me from my cohort. Like I was the only one from Clinical Nurse Leader cohort 2020 to be at Hoyathon 2018. So Megan LeSavage organized this team for the graduate nursing students, and there were only 3 people, her friend and me. I was like, man, no one else is here? I mean, geez. I mean, our program is very hard, and so they were probably studying at home. But I mean, geez, like raising money for Children's National Hospital. But I mean, they do other good things, like we have people volunteering at Soup Kitchen. We have people volunteering with other things. So they all have their own volunteering things. So like, they volunteer a lot. So it's not like I should, I don't want to, I mean, for me, it was important because I like to help children. As you know, I'm an elementary school teacher at Savoy Elementary School in Washington, D.C., a 5th grade elementary school teacher. So I care about little children. So that's like my priority is to save children. So, I mean, I can't blame others whose priorities are a little different, that some people may be like, let's save the homeless people. Some people may be like, other people have their own, and they do volunteer. Everybody in the clinical nurse leader program, they all volunteer a lot somewhere. So, I mean, I should, say anything. But yeah, but I have to say I was shocked that I was the only person from my cohort at the dance-a-thon. I mean, it was a little bit shocking to me. I mean, it's possible other people, had other engagements on that day, the dance-a-thon for 12 hours. So, but anyway, for me, it was important. So, I danced away with Megan LeSavage. She's a good dancer. She's working at NICU, neo-intensive care unit at Children's National Hospital. And actually, I talked about her and her sister, right? Her sister's Mandy LaSavage. She graduated from, so Megan and Mandy are twins. And they grew up in, I think Maryland. And her mother's great. And yeah, and yeah, so they grew up in Maryland. And I might have said that both Mandy and Megan went to University of Maryland. I don't think so. I think Mandy went to University of Maryland, but I think Megan went to like Laurel and Marymount University of Maryland. I gotta ask her sometime. Yeah, but I think that's where she went. So, or did I don't know. I mean, I don't know why I'm thinking like Megan and Mandy both went to. Did she transfer? I gotta ask for clarification on that sometime. But anyway, they're twins, and they're like both like geniuses. They're like beautiful and smart, and like they have really nice, kind hearts. And they're like perfect people, you know. You gotta meet them. It's like amazing. Like, and they're twins, and they're like perfect, you know. So Mandy went to University of Pennsylvania for a JD law degree, and she got her bachelor law degree, JD, with a master's in 3 years. Went to a big, important law firm in New York, passed her bar. I think she took the Washington D.C. bar. Oh, maybe she took the New York bar, but she studied for the bar in D.C. I forgot exactly, but yeah, I think she took the New York bar. But anyway, so she would start working there, and then Megan, she started working at Children's National Hospital in the NICU, a new intensive care unit. So that's where, like, if you have like premature babies, that's where they go. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, and so like Megan got me involved with Poethon, and I was like really excited, and I wasn't aware of like this, Pensathon to help children's hospitals. I guess it's like exists nationally. It's like called Children's Network or Children Hospital Network or something like that. But I thank you, Megan, for introducing me to this, you know, Children's National Hospital Hoyathon. This national network. I'm really excited to be part of it. So because I was very excited to be part of that, and I want to, get more involved and play a more role, I applied to be an executive board member of Hoyathon 2019, year later. And I remember, Kalia is the president. She founded it. And her family is great. Her father and mother and her sister, and they came to Hoyathon 2009. They're amazing people. So I could see why she's such a wonderful person, because her family is like such a wonderful family. Um, I think family has like a large impact on what kind of person you become. So when I met her parents and family, I'm like, I understand why Kali is such an amazing person. She's such a leader. So yeah, so when I applied to be an executive board member, Carlia invited me for an interview. So I went for an interview at Georgetown University Library. It was like in the basement area, near where Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Executive have our executive board, monthly executive board meetings. And yeah, so like Kalia was there, and then Federico Palacardo, he's Italian. He lives in New York. Hopefully everybody is okay in New York, his family. But he's a senior as well. He's a pre-med, and he had all these interviews from New York medical schools. Very, very smart guy. So Federico, Palacardo, and Caliacaras, they interviewed me. And then I heard back from them, and they said, yeah, welcome as an executive board for Hoyathon 2019. So I became the graduate liaison officer. So they created a position for me because all the executive board members are undergraduates. They're doing their bachelor's at Georgetown University. So they never had an executive board member who's a graduate student. I love undergraduates. I'm always close and work with undergraduates wherever I am. And I shared with you how I work with undergraduate Cambridge University Student Union when I was at Cambridge University. And you can watch that episode from a few days ago. Um, I wanted to get involved and help. And in most university, undergraduates are the most active because they have more time than graduate students generally. Because graduate students are doing more advanced research. And also I think at the undergraduate level, you care more about things and issues than graduate students because I think you're more idealistic. As people get older and older, they become jaded, and then they lose their idealism. Like, but when you start your college, a lot of people are like, yeah, I could save the world. But when they graduate from college and go to graduate school, they get watered down, weathered down at work or whatever. They stop thinking like they could change the world. They become jaded. Um, and, and you should never become jaded because you could always save the world, even if you're like a 90-year-old person. Yeah, so you should never become jaded. You should always believe that you can make the world a better place. But anyway, that may be the reason why, and like almost every university, the organizations that make the most impact on the campus, their leaders tend to be like undergraduate students. So and it was like that, at UCLA as well, where I did my PhD studies in history. And yeah, but anyway, I wanted to get involved in this. And so I interviewed for the executive board meeting, and I guess I interviewed well. And obviously Kalia and Federico are great people, and I guess they believe that I could help in this wonderful cause, and I'm happy to do that. And so they created this position, graduate liaison officer, and the whole purpose of that is to get more graduate students involved, which I was happy to do. So I contacted the president of Georgetown University Medical School, and got him to get MD students get involved. And I contacted president of law school, Melody, um, and tried to get law school students involved and whatnot. So I did my part trying to get like all these graduate students involved. And there's more graduate students than undergraduates at Georgetown. So yeah, but so I was happy to do that. So Kalia is the founder. She was president. This year we also had like a co-president with Kalia, and her name is Hannah Doman, and wie geht's? She's German. she's she's like German, and so she's like 100% German. And Hannah Doman, she was a student at George Washington University, and I think she did Huethan there. And then she transferred over to Georgetown University, and she did Huethan here. Yeah, she's great. I mean, both of them are amazing, great leaders. And Yeah, and so under Hannah and Kalia's leadership, we organized this Huethan, and it was a phenomenal success. It was even greater success than 2018. Yeah, so I have some photos from there. And the person right next to me near the screen, hello, that is Hanan Mualin. She's the new president of Huethan 2020, I believe. And she's actually in my school of Nursing and Health Studies. She's great, like during the executive board meeting, I'll generally sit next to her and we'll chat away. But she's great. We had these, so it's a dance-a-thon for 12 hours. And at the end of it, we have like, dance hour. So we got all these like lights that we wore. And it's fun, Yeah, so I'm sure she's doing a great job. She's an amazing person. And next to that, I'm dancing away, and Sari's kind of looking in and squeezing into our photo. Sari Wilson. Uh, and if you look at the sign under Children's National, there I am with Sari Wilson. So she's an executive board member as well. She's great. She's a really nice person. Um, And you see the photo of me with uh, human figure stuffed animal. I think for Federico was underneath that. But yeah, we had the Children's Day, and we're trying to raise funds and get more people signed on to a dance-a-thon. So that's in the Red Square. Um, and underneath that is Olivia Jimenez. She's from Florida. She's amazing. I met her first time at a Hoyathon 2018, and she was videotaping and the whole event. And she's amazing. She's like a video taping expert, and she's the editor of Bossier magazine, which is like a literary magazine for women uh, at Georgetown University. But I think men can contribute. I'm not sure, but yeah, she's like the editor of this Bossier magazine, which is like really famous at Georgetown. And I think you could check out the online issues, Bossier, Bossier, Bossier. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, so yeah, and then you could read her contribution. She's a great writer. Um, and she's the editor, so she's like a major leader at Georgetown. Like every single one of these people were involved at Hoyathon or like major leaders in their own areas that they have their own interests. And so Olivia, she's great, yeah. So it was great because like first time I met her was at Hoyathon 2018, and then 2019 we're executive board members together, and she's wearing like Wonder Woman cape. Do you see that on the other side of the photo? That's Olivia. So next to the photo of me with Saria Wilson, it's Olivia Jimenez, and then. Yeah, next to that, there are two executive board members at Hoyathon. They're great. They're nice. She's really funny. Like I sometimes talk with her during executive board member of Hoyathon, and she's so funny. She has like this dry sense of humor, and they're like best buddies. They're always like hanging out together, and yeah, so they're great. And then we actually had executive board members from Tarpathon, which is basically University of Maryland, College Park, Hoya, like dance-a-thon for Children's National Hospital. So it's a big thing over there. Um, so, so they two different sets of executive board members came. They did like shifts. Like first shift came for like first 6 hours, and the next shift came from next 6 hours. And so I got to take photos with them and got to meet them and chat with them, spend some time with them. Because, they're there for hours, and, we're, kind of dance-a-thon is like you dance and you also play ping pong. And, there are a lot of activities where we're involved in while we're raising money for Children's National Hospital. So I got to meet them, and they're really nice. And I think their dance-a-thon was scheduled for like March or April. So I guess it's unfortunately canceled, but hopefully they raised a lot of money. Um, I think they raised $1 million for Children's National Hospital in year 2019, like in April or March, in the spring. Excuse me. So theirs is in spring, ours is in winter, December or November. But anyway, yeah, if you're a Georgetown student watching this show, I hope you get involved with Hoyathon. And kind of help raise money for Children's National Hospital. If you're a University of Maryland student, College Park student, I hope you get involved with Tarpathon. It's a good cause, as well as George Washington University. Wherever there's a dance-a-thon for Children's Hospital, I hope you get involved with that. It's a good cause. It's fun and it's a good cause. It's a little bit challenging with COVID-19, dance-a-thon, but yeah, I guess we're learning to adapt to this COVID-19 reality, which is here to stay. They say continue on for a few years. Harvard School of Public Health said that we have to social distance at least until year 2022. That's 2 years from now, and they're predicting that we'll develop a vaccine by then. Hopefully that's true. But anyway, thanks for sharing with me, in my life. I'm happy to share my life with you. Thanks for watching my show. I hope that you will survive COVID-19 and that your children will survive COVID-19 as well. I created this show to help you and your family members survive. I give helpful information every day. It's a daily show, and I give you insight that you cannot find from CNN, Fox News, um, PBS, BBC, Fox News. Obviously, my priority is not political victory. My priority is to save your life from COVID. And I want to make Virginia's 8th district a better place and America a better place. That's why I'm running for Congress. Party isn't important to me that much. What's important is that we make America a better place in every way. So I hope you'll vote for me on November 3rd, 2020. Whether you voted for Don Beyer or not, I think you should vote for me because I'll do a better job for you and your family. Whatever party you are, whoever you have voted for in the past, in year 2020, this is the year you vote for me. I hope you will, come back and see this show tomorrow. I'm going to try to help you and your family again tomorrow. And for you to survive, you and your family to survive, you have to be informed. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is survival. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope that your family will be well and that your children will be well. See you tomorrow.